I gotta play this old clunker. I mean, I have to play it in order to make sure it's working. And my fearless leader, finally decided to put 10 gauge strings on his old guitar. So I'll just let you stare at it. There you go. There it is. Now, I'll just let you look at it for a minute. Just don't stare too hard. You'll go blind. Yeah. My calling in life today. Yeah. Howdy. Yeah, you get to see stuff like this. Some of you will never see one of these. That's a real deal, dude. Now, a couple of little details about this instrument. It was born in 1952. Hang on, I'm having to eat some Skittles to get my my blood glucose back to normal. You're a very wise man. You know the deal. Yeah, the original ashtray that was on this instrument has been swapped out for one that allows for a Telecaster to be properly intonated. And the original ashtray that would have come on this guitar is still ready and willing and capable of being put back on this instrument, but the man who owns this instrument likes his instrument to be intonated correctly. So he had my journeyman, probably 92-ish, this tailpiece or ashtray, if you will, was installed on this instrument so that the thing can be intonated correctly. And he's been playing 11s on this string for a long time. And just yesterday, I think we finally talked him into making a good choice and putting 10 gauge Ernie Ball Slinkies on this beautiful old guitar. So now what we're doing is we got the strings on it, and the owner and my fearless leader Mike decided that it was time to put a little bit lighter gauge strings on this. He finally listened to me, which was a pretty cool moment because he never listens to me. He just tells me what to do. Of course, I listen to him when he tells me what to do. Yeah. make an appearance on my channel very often because really it doesn't need to. This is a tool that's used to provide live music to literally thousands of people every year. And what you're hearing there is my new technology telling me that my blood glucose is a little bit low, which thus I ate some Skittles. I'm going to check where it is right now. It's not bad. I feel really good. Anyhow, so yeah, this is a true 1952 Fender Telecaster that I actually do get to play this thing. Let's see. We're gonna bring the volume up a bit just because it's a 52 Telly, and why not? So if I'm tearing your head off with the volume, eat shit and die, if you would.
I'm going to put you on the phone with Marshall. I like to make all his customers mad before I hand them over to him. So, okay, you're in very good hands, man. He will tell you exactly what you need to know.
Hang on just
He's
a
in
moment
charge
here.
of that area. He is a luthier of the highest caliber here, and he's about ready to pick up the phone. He's working on my guitar right now.
Hi, this is Marshall. How you doing? Hi. I'm wonderful. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, 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 bring them in for me to give you an idea of what it'll cost. I mean, restringing an electric guitar is generally it's very affordable. I can do that in literally moments. But we need to take a look at the one that's got some issues. It sounds like with the frets are giving you some. Oh, okay. Yeah, and acoustics, it's a 6-string steel string acoustic. Am I correct? Okay. You know, the best way I can help you is to just have you bring it in. For me to give you a quote on what it would cost to repair that, it's really hard to say. Generally, I just do things by the hour. And you know, we're super expensive. No, I joke. We're one of the most affordable places you could take a guitar in the country. And myself and my journeyman Stu Hensley that's all we do here is repair instruments. So what I would ask is if you could bring those in at your convenience. And let us take a look at let me take a look at what's going on. Stu doesn't do a lot of the work here anymore. He's doing a lot of automotive work. So I'm generally the guy that does it. So yeah, and you know, again, our rates are very reasonable. You know, nationwide stuff's gotten very, very expensive. We've kept our stuff in a category that is not expensive, if you will. So yeah, I would ask that you bring them in. What are the chances of you being able to bring that thing in the near future? Oh, well, bring it down. Let's take a look at it. You'll get to see one of the coolest guitars you've ever laid your eyes on, I promise. I'm working on a 1952 Fender Telecaster right now, so if you get in the next few minutes, you'll get to look at this one. I may let you play it. So, yeah, bring it on in. Let me take a look at what you got going on, and we'll go forward from there. Does that sound good? Okay, wonderful. See ya. Thanks. All right, bye. Yeehaw! I love those phone calls. It's fun. Look at that. 52 Telly. All right, so we've just changed the string gauge on this old beauty, and so what I'm gonna do now is check the intonation, and check for any fret buzz or anything like that going on. This guitar Again, it does get played live, and it's perfectly healthy. I just wanted to show you all a 1952 Fender Telecaster, a real one. This guitar was a little history on this thing. It was acquired in my hometown of Portland when the owner of our shop was on doing a tour with his band, and had a clunker, I guess. I don't know what it was, and his bandmates went to who? I think. Hey, Mike. Hang on, let me yell at Mike real quick. Hey, Mike. He's typing. And he's been playing this guitar through loud amplifiers for decades, so he can't hear me. Give me a second. Hey, Mike. Where'd those guys get that guitar from? Pioneer? Is it Pioneer Music?
No, we got it from somebody, one of the guys I was playing with saw it advertised in the Oregonian in 1968, and for $125, and he drove to Portland and got it.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't a music store.
No.
Okay.
No, it's kind of taken out under the bed, and he said there might have been an amp, but he was so, you know.
Yeah, and in 1968 it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the only good guitars were made by Fender and Gibson.
Yeah.
Gretsch.
That was it. What were you playing before you had this?
I had a Gretsch single pickup, solid body with a floating bridge that I didn't know how to operate it, so I couldn't keep it in tune.
Yeah, and they bought this one, and problem solved.
Played it every gig ever since.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you all could overhear our conversation, but this guitar was advertised in the Oregonian in 1968, and the guys in his band knew that he needed a new guitar. He couldn't operate the one that he had. He wasn't very knowledgeable about. He's a great guitar player, but setting him up and the operation of the Gretsch that he had, and so they gave him this guitar, paid $125 for it in 1968, and the rest is history. So there's one that got away, if you will. Thus, I don't sell many guitars. I sold one literally yesterday. The first guitar I've ever sold out of my collection, I sold one, which it's kind of cool. I know it went to a wonderful home, so that's it. Yeah. Yeah, so 52 Telly is pretty well all set up and ready to go into battle. I think it's going to be playing a gig tonight, so there'll be a bunch of people sitting in the audience that won't have a fucking clue what they're bearing witness to, which is really pretty neat. And again, you know, this guitar is not sitting in a glass case. It's getting out and getting used and making music, live music. No AI, no no photo tricks, no Photoshop. It's a 52 that just gets to go out and make some noise. I'm just playing it through a little toy amp here, and I got no effects on it at all. I just wanted to hear how it was behaving. It feels really nice to play. It feels like it always does. I'm very familiar with the way this guitar feels and sounds, and it's doing everything that it always has. One thing I am going to check real quick is just check the intonation. And I just want to make sure that given the string gauge change, that the intonation is right. That's really the biggest, usually the biggest change that might happen if you do change string gauges on any guitar, even one built in 1952. Not much has changed with regard to that. So I'll do that while I'm live, and I gotta find my flathead screwdriver, which I am not seeing. I wonder what the heck happened to my flathead screwdriver, my favorite little German-made flatty. Where are you? Give me a second. I'm finding tools. I don't know if somebody borrowed it or if I put it in the wrong place. Not that one. That'll work. I will pull that one out, but that's not my flathead screwdriver. I've had these. Oh, there it is. I found it. It was hiding in my toolbox. These guys, I've been using these two screwdrivers for about the past 5 or 6 years. And these things have just been bulletproof. I use these two screwdrivers probably more than any other screwdriver that I own. I do grab a number 2 once in a while. So let's check our intonation, see what's happening with it. I'm gonna do it in the playing position, just to make everybody happy, because I know how nitpicky you guys can get about, oh, you got to do it in the playing position, and that's actually a pretty true statement. Although you can do it laying with the guitar laying down, it just won't be quite as accurate. Okay. Let me put this up here where you can see maybe see the tuner. I'm hoping you can see it. Let me check my video here. I need to scoot that over a little. I don't know. Maybe this way, that way. I use the neck position pickup. Usually the tuner can hear that pretty clearly. So that's showing a little bit sharp, and I do not like intonating an instrument sharp at all. So we're going to flatten the string just a bit, add a little bit more distance. And if you have any suggestions or recommendations as to what I'm doing here, please put them in the comments. If you have another trick that you use for intonating a guitar. Now, I will say that these strings have been way properly stretched. When we put new strings on Mike's guitar, his band is very renowned, and they don't need to have to walk up on stage and have a guitar be out of tune. So we make sure to stretch these things real good and play them a bit before we send Mike out on stage with this thing. Fantastic guitar player. Americana style. There we go. If there's anything that I'm doing that you don't agree with, I would love to hear your thoughts on intonating this guitar. That's perfect. As you can see, we don't have to change much very often on this guitar, and we did change string gauge, so that one's leaning to the sharp side of intonation. So and I really try and take my time with this guitar. It deserves it. This is how I do almost every guitar. Some of them I'll kind of whip through a little quickly, but you know, a newer guitar, they all pretty much behave the same. There's not a big, this ain't rocket science. So man, that's close enough. I'm gonna leave it. Hoping you can see the tuner all right. Let me back it up just a little bit. That G string is a little sharp. I'm going to go ahead and move that one ever so slightly. Keith Richards, if you need a guitar tech, please call me. Because I know you might own one or two guitars that might be older than this one, but just checking for a little fret buzz. See if I... I'd say she's doing good. Doing really good. in tune for him pretty well tonight. Kind of fun to play an old instrument like this, and the respect that's owed to an instrument of this of this caliber. Pretty cool stuff. I'm gonna say hi to some folks. Oh yeah, hey Brad. Jack, hello. What's happening? Axiom. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, if you all aren't aware, Jack spent some dough the other night and had Glenn Fricker, one of the only honest communities on the internet where they actually people offer their actual opinions of music. It's really fun to watch that and hear people speak their minds about what they're listening to, and you don't hear a lot of disrespectful music on there. It's awesome, and he got a banger on that one. Obviously, what is it, the Delicate Giants, or what's the name of the band? Delicate Giants or something like that. Yeah, Hugh, he's not a tough customer, or Jack, he's not a tough customer, he's honest. He doesn't like listening to shitty songs. Or just whacking guitars and screaming through a Marshall amp or whatever. He likes production. That whole show is really, really fun. And you can speak your mind. What is it? Giant Killers, that's it. It's really nice to be able to voice your own thoughts about songs, and people are really accepting of it. Nobody gets offended or butthurt. And pretty much all of the advice that I've seen on that show has been very worthy of it. Very cool. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and congratulations on the banger, Jack. Hopefully, I've only sent 2 songs into him, and one of them got a banger. That was cool. The Mad Max Mustang and that Dodge you have sucks. Hey, Kev. Everybody say hi to Kevin. He's out working I think he's in Idaho right now. Really good friend of mine. We get to hang out every once in a while. He was a student of mine, actually, for a while. Great guitar player, and God, dude's got a great country voice. I hope he gets to recording some of his stuff. I hope. He's got a pretty banging studio set up at his house, and on the road with him. It's been fun. Yeah. Oh, he's over in Idaho. Oh, cool. I still haven't done Discord. I don't have enough time. I got enough distractions. I don't have time to do that. Yeah. Yep, cool. Well, I'm gonna give you all another little peek at the 52, and then I've got to get about my day. Just real quick, I'll kind of give you guys a heads up on what I got going. I've got a record player right there that I've replaced the caps in the amplifier. That one's from the mid 40s. That still having some issues with the play mechanism on it. It's supposed to drop records, and it will not do that. So I'm having to do some mechanical work on that. And then over here, one of my longtime clients, we're doing a little setup checkup on this one. I've rebuilt that guitar from nothing. It had no hardware on it, and so we're just doing a health inspection update on this, and did new strings. And this one is another one of my students' guitars, who I'll show you what this poor kid. I feel so sorry for him. It's actually his mom owns the guitar. And this kid, you guys, this kid is going, he is such a fabulous student. He's one of, if you have ever taught guitar, he's the student you hope all of your students are like. But I'm going to put a looper pedal and crack the neck. I don't know if the camera is going to show that or not. And so I've got to get this repaired, which will be really fun. So the poor kid doesn't have a guitar right now to play, but he is such a fantastic student. He's one of those that you get done with a lesson and he goes home and plays his guitar, and then the next morning when he wakes up he plays his guitar, and then when he gets home from school he gets his homework done, keeps his grades up, and plays his guitar some more. And every time he comes in, he's learned something or has learned a new riff to a song that he likes, or something that his mom would want him to sing and play. And I'm encouraging him every week to continue singing. And just a super cool kid, very young, but fell in love with the guitar. And I'm really lucky to... No, I haven't given him a loaner guitar, and you know, I'll tell you why. Young people, when something like this happens, if you just reward them by giving them a loaner guitar, they don't learn anything from making a mistake like breaking a guitar. Now, this guitar isn't terribly expensive, but imagine if it said Martin or Gibson or Larrivee or Taylor on the headstock. That would be a major bummer. So I'm kind of allowing him to soak a little bit. And here's the other thing: I didn't need to loan him a guitar because he has another guitar that his grandmother bought him, and it is a clunker. Now I've set it up for him a little bit. I got the string action down where you don't bleed when you play it. But now he's going to have to play that for a week or so, and that might help him remember not to let stuff like this happen. So if it was my child, that's what I would do. So, you know, I'm not a big meanie. Yeah, I'm letting him play his old clunker guitar, and he'll remember. He won't forget this. Yeah, he started doing lessons on I can't remember what type of guitar it is. It's literally a Walmart guitar. What do they make? What are those guitars? People generally don't bring them in because they're not worth fixing. His though, it's not bad. You can play it, but he'll be happy when he gets this one back. I'll probably have that thing glued up this afternoon, but the crack is pretty, it's not a real super clean crack. The grain, you know, if it was tight, it was like this. Well, it's kind of shifted a little bit, so it's not lining up so I can push it back together like that. So that's gonna take a little bit of doing to make sure that it's absolutely right. Yeah, Kev, that's my whole point. I'm not being mean, and I haven't really had time. Here I am talking to everybody. I should be working on that guitar. Yeah, first act. There you go, Richard. Hey, I hope you're feeling well. And let me see. I'm gonna post something here. Yeah. Everybody, please wish the Falcro a very happy birthday. Today's the day. Oh, Josh, that's cool, man. Here it is. There eyes on. Oh, and take a look at the back of this thing. I mean, if that doesn't say how old is this thing? 71 years old. 71. It had a neck break at one point in time, and I believe that Mike did the repair himself, the owner of our shop here. Yeah, 52, 1952. There you go. Isn't that beautiful? Richard knows this guitar very well. Everybody please wish Richard a happy birthday. Yeah, thanks, Josh. Yeah, Josh, isn't that cool? Yeah. Yeah, it sounded like Richard wasn't really feeling well yesterday, and I kind of left him alone. Usually when people aren't feeling well, I don't like to bug them very much. I did call him this morning. Of course, nobody answers their phone. Yeah, Richard got to you might strummed a few chords on this one maybe when you were here. Richard's held this guitar. There's a photograph of it, in fact. Let me see. I'll look for it. Where is that? It's a ways back. I'm gonna have to go ways back. Quite a ways. Let me see. Where are you? Damn, I got a lot of pictures on my phone. But I take photos on my phone for doing these live streams, for doing the shots. And then, of course, I take pictures of my cat every chance I get. Oh, we're getting close, I think. Oh, I remember. Well, okay. Let's see. This isn't Richard, but I don't know how well this is going to show up on the screen, but this is a young man that came into our shop, and he owned a Telecaster, and he got to play this thing. The same guitar. It's been in a few people's hands. Oh, here we go. Now I'm getting close. I'm getting closer. Closer. Where are you? There's another dude. Oh, check this photo out, you guys. This is a pretty cool one. That's two 1952 Fender Telecasters right here at my shop. Pretty neat. And this gentleman, this one lives over in Baker City, I believe, and this is the one on my bench right now. That was kind of fun. It's like the two of us sitting there holding these guitars, and just pretty incredible. I get to see a lot of pretty old guitars like this, and I don't own anything of this magnitude. I thought I might have a picture of Justin holding it, but I didn't. Oh, and here's another picture I want to share with you. This is a guitar that I really hope to own someday. This is one that my brother-in-law has. Oops, sorry. It didn't show up. Anyway, I thought I could find that picture of Falcro holding this thing, but yeah. Yeah, Hugh, it's pretty cool. I think I put strings on this guitar the first time probably 15 years ago, right after I started working here. I got to work on a Gibson 335. Yeah. Oh, Josh, that's cool. It's so neat to get to work on literally historical pieces, man. This is like a piece of American history. There are not very many of these around. Not many at all. The ones that are still existing, most of them are probably in somebody's doctor's or lawyer's basement in a case or in a glass case or something. Or Keith Richards owns all of them. I don't know. Play 59. Oh, dude. You played an actual 59 Les Paul? There's like less than 200 of them on the planet anymore. Oh shit, there might be less than 100. I don't know. Wow. I'll probably never actually see one. I would love to. That would be really neat. I do know that there is a 58 Les Paul Jr. not too far from here that I would love to be able to play it. Not honest ones, yeah. God, Axiom, that's neat. I would love to see a photograph of that. It's funny because last night we were talking. I have it's a 2010 Burst Les Paul. That's a Les Paul Standard, and that's a guitar that I may part with. It just is not getting played, but it's an exact duplicate of a 59. Same if you were to buy a Les Paul in 1959, the color and the wood grain and all that stuff is identical to what you would have bought then. Of course, it's not worth 7 digits either. Yeah. Well, right on, guys. I got to get back to it. Thanks everybody for stopping in. Did a little, we're just giving this thing a little health inspection after changing string gauges. That's all it is. And anytime I have this thing on my bench, I'm going to probably go live just to kind of show off a little bit. India. Okay. Wow, that's great. I would love to go someplace. Yeah. Yeah, Hugh, that's a big question. Just, it's hard saying, man. That one was stolen, I believe, in the 70s-ish, if I'm not mistaken. There's so many wives' tales and alternate stories about what happens to all these classic vintage guitars. Yeah. Yeah, the Falcro, you're welcome. I'm going to get going, you guys. I got to get back to it, and I've got a client coming in here. I got to look at a couple guitars. She's just getting here. So, peace, y'all. Have a wonderful afternoon, evening. Play lots of guitar. Play your 52 Telly. I'm gonna.